Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gen AI Talkin' 10, brought to you by SS&C Blue Prism. I'm Brad. He's Satish. So, Satish, let's talk about this multimodal craze that's going on now. It didn't take long after generative AI emerged for this multimodal concept to start coming out, and it seems like the gift that keeps on giving. It seems like every other day, there's some new form of multimodal Gen AI that's coming into the picture. So explain what it is, and then we'll get into some examples of it.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. But, if you look at generative AI when it first started, most models were largely based on text, right? Even though we knew that LLMs could generate other forms of content, most models were based on text. You just give it text, it outputs text-based data. Multimodal is where you can actually now have different forms of content as input and output, right? So this is gaining popularity because of many, many reasons, right? Take certain industries like the movie industry, which is where, by the way, Gen AI is so popular. Multimodal models there create possibilities for creating, let's say, immersive experiences. We have heard of how you can make immersive experiences, but you usually need some form of, what is that Facebook thing that you get? That kind of immersive experience. But now you can do it using LLMs that are multimodal, or you can create video games or even virtual reality, which is what I was describing. Take manufacturing, for example, different industry, right? When creating new and innovative products, now you can take the output from the Gen AI models after you feed it all kinds of data, and then maybe create products that don't even exist today, right? Can you imagine how you can do that? One last thing that's near and dear to my heart, which is education, which is facilitating more interactive and engaging learning, based on maybe the student that's in question, right? You personalize that, but do it not just based on text, but also images and video and audio. So very, very exciting. Every one of these industries we talked about have the ability to use multimodal LLMs, and that's why it's becoming very popular. But beyond that, there's also things like better performance, right? By integrating multiple modes or multiple image, text, audio, video, and so on, the models can potentially give us more accurate and relevant output. Like, for instance, if you were to understand an image in the, along with some text that exists, maybe interpretation of that image is even better than it could be, on each on its own versus image or text, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that also is very, very exciting, if you remember, we talked about how, the two most popular industries we have seen beyond media are financial services and healthcare. If you think about healthcare, right, what is so exciting about multimodal LLMs is most of the real world problems that you see involve multiple data sets, right? You don't want to just look at x-rays. Maybe you want to, the doctor needs to hear the patient's heartbeat, or maybe they need to see a report that goes along with that image, right? In this case, an x-ray. So can you imagine a doctor being able to diagnose better because he or she has multiple types of data that's available to them than before, right? And so there's so many things that you can do, cross-disciplinary application. You can have, like we talked about, different kinds of content that you can combine. You can personalize better. I mean, the applications are endless, right? Because now you can personalize at scale. You could do it with just text before, but now you think about the possibilities of personalizing something at scale based on all of these different kinds of data, right? It's so exciting, I think.
And we tend to think of it more on the output side, but I've seen so many use cases emerge in the last 6 months, 9 months, that are more on the input side. So think about all the different business processes where you need to take a picture of something, of a piece of machinery that's breaking down, and you want a Gen AI model to guide you in diagnosing it. Being able to feed that picture in is so much, so much more effective and efficient than having to type it in and describe what you're seeing. So certainly it has expanded the use case. We've already seen an expansion in use cases from Gen AI just based on what it can do. Now multimodal continues to expand that. What are some other just examples, real life use cases that you've heard from our customers that are looking to take advantage of multimodal capabilities to solve and automate something that they've never been able to do before?
We were speaking to, who was it, a parts company the other day, right? And they were talking about how they could use, visual and textual data together, right? To solve some of their, when they have to build a part and they have these part stores all across the US and even beyond. And so they were talking about how they have so many different thousands of combination of parts based on, what the vehicle year is, model is, make is. So can you imagine having some complexities like that and being able to address those complexity? Like you said, they would feed LLMs all kinds of data, not just text, images, and then be able to solve for the world that they have to deal with, which is different years, different models, different makes, etc. And they feel that their life will be a lot simpler because of multimodal LLMs. I mean, the other one was also the healthcare one that came from actually a customer of ours, a pharma customer, who said, it's going to change the way we even do research around medication that we bring to market. The clinical trials data, right along with the images, gives us a lot more to go by versus just looking at, let's say, graphs of what the trends were with data. Now they can combine that with images and see, can I learn more from a critical mass of patients that I looked at, right? Not just, these numbers that we used to look, these people, in their case, they expressed how they used to just look at numbers before, right? They used to look at trends before. Now they can look at images, they can look at sounds of heartbeats, they can look at, what's going on with that patient, any other kind of data that they can use, feed the LLM, and then tell the LLM to give kinds of data that they've never been able to ask before. So I think it's really exciting. Even things like, you wonder if somebody could abuse this. I think there's always opportunities to abuse this, right? So I was hearing how recently, what's that thing at the airport? Clear? Clear has, it's run by one of those companies, and they're not a customer of ours, but, they have the biggest database of personal information on Earth, right? Because imagine all the data that they collect for the people going through airports, right?
Yeah.
What kind of data they collect makes it really interesting. When you think of, is there potential for abuse? Not really picking on this company. I'm not suggesting that by any means. I'm just saying, you've heard of data breaches. To the best effort of companies, sometimes data gets breached. Now think of what you could do with that data if you're a bad actor.
Well, multimodal definitely will improve the deep fakes that are out there for sure. To me, just the advancements that have been made in the video production have excelled so far. Recently, I saw a trailer for a sequel to a movie that I really liked. It's almost 20 years old, and I was shocked that they're making a sequel of it. And I was looking at the trailer, and it looked really good, and I even forwarded it to some friends. And turns out it was just a guy like you or me that made it at his house because he's a fan of the movie as well. And he used Gen AI to create this incredible trailer that looked 100% real, like something out of Hollywood, no doubt. Well, thanks for joining us on Gen AI Talking 10. We will see you next time.